Hi, I'm Vic. You guys may know me from Sunday school or maybe from Vacation Bible School. Good to see you again, and good to talk to you during this summertime when we're away from Bonham. One way that we get to see each other. At least you get to see me. Anyway, um, I got a riddle for you. What can you count on when things go wrong? What can you count on when things go wrong? And let me tell you about our Bible verse for this week. Our Bible verse for this week is Romans 8:28. It says, "All things work to good for those who love God." All things work to the good to those who love God. That's kind of part of it. It's kind of cut off at the end, but there's more to it. We're just going to talk about that part. Okay. The riddle. What can you count on when things go wrong? Anybody got it yet? Let me give you a clue if I can get my. What can you count on when things go wrong? Your fingers. Well, that's what the answer to the riddle is. But the Bible verse would suggest that if you love God, things won't go wrong. All things work to the good to those who love God. And I've got a story that can maybe explain that a little bit for you, or at least put a little bit more, um, or be an example. Let's call it an example. Okay. Um, there's this woman that I read about. Actually, I read her book. Her book is called The Hiding Place, and her name is Corrie ten Boom. And she was put in prison during the war. There were some people that um, the German soldiers were trying to capture people and put them into prison camps. And Corrie ten Boom was hiding those people from the German soldiers until she finally got caught. When she got caught hiding people from the German soldiers, those soldiers put her in prison too. And this was a nasty, nasty, nasty place. There was very, very poor food. It was cold. There was no heating in the barracks. They didn't have coats or shoes that were sufficient to keep them warm in the winter. There was no medical care. It was just a terrible place. But still, somehow, Corrie and her friends managed to smuggle a Bible into the prison so that they were able to read the Bible. There was only one problem. In reading the Bible, the German soldiers, if they caught them, would punish them even more severely. They would cut off what little food they had. They would make them work harder. They would make them do silly exercises that were just um, very harmful to them. So they had to be very careful. The one thing that they were able to do, though, was find the one barracks that the German guards wouldn't go into. The one barracks where the German guards wouldn't go was the one that had fleas and bugs and was infested with all kinds of maybe rats and other things that were just terrible to be around. So Corey knew that the guards wouldn't go into that one place. So that's where they had their Bible study. They would light a candle, they would speak silent or quietly, and they would be able to hear God's word in that way. So when Corrie got out of prison sometime later, she wrote a book called The Hiding Place, by the way, if you're interested. And for you parents, it's something that you probably want to read to the kids. You don't want the kids to read this until they're in middle school for any number of reasons. But anyway, um, Corrie thanked God for, what do you think she thanked God for? You thank God for the Bible? Did she thank God for the Bible study? Well, in a way she did, but mostly she thanked God for the fleas, the bugs, and the vermin that were in that horrible barracks where they had their Bible study. And she thanked him because if it hadn't been for those nasty fleas, the guards would have come in and caught them and kept them from studying God's word. So, in all things, we know that God works for good for those that love him. And since Corrie ten Boom loved God, one the reason she loved God, we could see, was because she was trying to keep those other people from being harmed by the German soldiers. But we know that she loved God, and she has a great testimony to it. And talk to your parents about it. And remember, Romans 8:28, in all things, God works for good for those who, who love him and are called to his name. See you next time. Can't wait till spring, September.